Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is AJ from the Paladin Journal, and this is going to be a negative video over some of the recent Warhammer news that we've had yesterday. And I just want to say that I'm very sorry for this. I have tried to, try and get out a more positive video than the last few ones that I've done. I recognize that it doesn't, really do well. That a channel focuses too much on the negative aspects of a hobby, of a fandom, and I really apologize for that. It's just that as an excuse, life has happened. There have been some stuff going on, and I cannot go into detail about some of that. But suffice to say, there's been a lot of real life interference with the way I want to do the channel, and I'm going to try and make up for that this weekend. I will be doing at least two book reviews very soon, both for books that I really enjoyed, and probably some actual hobby content that I haven't done for a long time on the channel. It's been probably like, I don't know, 2 months, maybe 3 months, probably more, that I've done some actual hobby content on the channel, and I'll definitely do that. So anyways, yesterday, early in the morning, my time in India, we had the Nova Open preview show, which is like Nova Open is one of the biggest events in the 40K calendar for the year, and it's also one of the biggest events that happens for 40K, period. And GW has had a presence at the event for a number of years, and for the last few, they've been trying to do various amounts of review panels, not review panels, preview panels, where they show off some of the upcoming stuff for different game systems, different factions, so on and so forth. So what they did this week with the one that happened yesterday, a little over 36 hours about that. And what they did was they showed off some new models that are coming for Stormcast Eternals for AOS. They showed off a new Blood Bowl team, which is Chaos Dwarves, they look really good. I'm not into Blood Bowl, so I can't really comment on how they fit within that design aesthetic and or everything, but it's Chaos Dwarves. It's one way to give people a fix for those who want Chaos Dwarves to show up back in fantasy, or who want them to show up in AOS in some way. Here's something, it's a teaser. I love that they are still hyping up Blood Bowl after all these years, and it's just amazing how much they support that system. But suffice to say, once we move past that, it's all downhill from there. Like, I'm not even kidding. I've tried to make this video 3 times already. My recording webcam, it keeps cutting out while I'm doing the recording, and I've had to already delete about like 40 minutes worth of video from my computer, and it's absolutely blows. So anyways, here goes, right? They showed off their roadmaps for Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, the Horus Heresy, and the Old World. And people were excited for these roadmaps. We've had roadmaps for 40K, we've had roadmaps for Horus Heresy. They were amazing roadmaps. They even gave us 2 roadmaps for 40K. When the first one kind of completed its cycle, very soon around that time, they gave us a new one for the next few months, and that has tided us over until like the late of July, which is when we found out that the Agents of the Imperium book is coming out, and we are hot on the heels of that. We're getting Blood Angels. Now the Blood Angels book is already on pre-order, or has already released. I'm a little bit unsure of that. I'm not able to get any of that, but it's an army box with an army refresh, and it has the Death Company stuff in it, and a special edition book, and some other stuff. However, the actual codex release isn't going to happen for a few weeks. However, taking everything into consideration, what they tell us in the Warhammer community articles and in the roadmap graphics they gave out, it's an absolute disaster. That is the only way I can characterize what happened with that preview, because yes, you had the highs of the new Stormcast Eternals models, you had the highs of the new Chaos Dwarf team for Blood Bowl, but after that, like I said, it's all downhill, and it's in the worst way possible. Even you can imagine that a roadmap is just not good. It is too vague or something, and it just doesn't tell you enough, and there's no hard commitment to anything. However, it's the roadmap, the graphics they give us. Half of the graphic is just a recap of what's happened this year. A tiny part of it is saying, stuff we've already announced, it's releasing in the next few weeks, in the next few months. And then, a little bit more than like half or a little bit less than half of the graphic is, oh, this is stuff coming out in 2025. So if you look at all those four roadmaps, you go on the Warhammer community website, you look at all of them, you will see that there's literally nothing in any of those roadmaps that tells you what is exactly coming down the pipeline in September of this year, in October of this year, in November of this year, and in December of this year, for the next 4 months. We already know the Blood Angels book is coming. It's going to happen in mid-September, end of September. We know that. We know that the Slaves of Darkness book for AOS is coming out. They already announced it. There's nothing to reveal except, oh, this is what the new models are going to be, if any. This is what the new rules are for the new edition, so on and so forth. What happens after that? For the old world, they already announced that Chaos Warriors are going to be the next faction that's being released this year. We've already had 4 factions released, and this is the 5th faction that's going to come out. And then after that, it's the vague future of 2025. It's going to be High Elves, and it's going to be the Empire of Man. Although I think Empire of Man is coming before High Elves too, which by itself is kind of weird because, up until now it's been like, sort of like a good faction and a bad faction, talking the most generic terms, because you can say that the players themselves might think that, the Tomb Kings, they are the heroes of Warhammer Fantasy, or some people say they're the villains, and then you have the flip side of that, which says, the French guys, I'm sorry, I'm completely blanking. Right, Bretonnians, I'm very sorry. Bretonnians are the villains, or some will say the Bretonnians are the heroes. But regardless of that, you had a distinctly good faction, a knightly theme and everything, a righteous theme to them. And then on the flip side, you had these, shambling hordes of undead, skeletons and necromancers and that kind of thing on the other side. And they were kind of like, they were kind of portrayed as the villain faction, so to speak. However, after that we had orcs and goblins, great. Then the Dwarven Montanals came out, amazing. And now they announced that, it's going to be Chaos Drops, which is, okay, I'm fine. Then they're like, Empire of Man is coming out, okay. High Elves are coming out, okay. The side eye is going to be strong, GW. But I suppose that kind of fits because when they did their announcement for the Old World release schedule, they were like, the good side has one more faction than the bad side. So I guess this is them, just leaning into that, so to speak, which I think is the wrong move. They should have given us more factions. They should give us all the factions instead of saying, these are the 7 factions we're going to launch with, and everyone else, you're not going to get a book, you're just going to get an index. It's like, no, that's not the way to do this, and it's extremely disappointing that is all they get. And then we move on to the most frustrating part, which is the Horus Heresy. Because for the other 3 systems, at least they tell us which factions are coming down the line. They already announced new stuff before the reveals happen at Nova Open, and then in the articles they're like, so 2025 you can have this, this, and this. It's like, okay, I'm completely okay with you telling us what you're giving us in 2025. 2025 it's going to start off very strong, but are you really going to squeeze all of that into like the first 3 or 4 months? Which is like, 3 codexes for 40K. It's at least, from the way the graphics laid out, it's going to be at least 2 destruction books for AOS, at least 2 more factions for the old world, and then Horus Heresy. What does Horus Heresy get? It's nothing. The video that they put out for Horus Heresy in the article, that video was the longest of all the 4 videos they put out for the roadmaps. And again, just like the graphics, more than half the videos, half the video length is just them recapping what has happened this year. It's like, again, no, this is not what we want to see. This is the complete opposite of what we see. If you want to do a recap, do it in the article. Do a separate video. So if you want to pat yourselves on the back, this is not some kind of a damn shareholder meeting. saw that comment like somewhere on the interwebs. It's like, this is not a shareholder meeting. This is not an AGM or whatever. It's like, this is for the fans. Like, get people hyped for what's coming. We already know what happened this year. We've been part of it. And this is like the roadmap. The roadmap shouldn't be recapping what has already happened or recapping what you've already announced that's going to happen in like the next 3 to 4 weeks. That is not what people want to see. People want to see what is coming down the line, stuff that you haven't announced. And okay, fine, you want to put stuff that you already announced that's going to release in the next 3, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. Give us a time frame. Like if they're like, okay, Blood Angels, they're going to release on 18th of September. I just pulled that date out of my head. I have no idea whether that's a Saturday or a Friday or a Monday or whatever. I just pulled the date out of my head. Give us a date. Oh, the Slaves of Darkness Army book is going to come out on 10th of October. Okay, fine. I can live with that. The Old World, Chaos Warriors, they're going to come out November of this year. Okay, fine. I'm fine. I love that. But I want to see more. Give me an actual framework for all the major systems. And then like Horus Heresy. When we get to Horus Heresy, there's this big stupid recap again about the Mechanicum, about the Solar Auxilia boxes that they did this year. I'd say, yeah, great stuff. You know, Auxilia, great release, great army refresh. You also launched it with Releases Imperialis, great stuff. You launched some more stuff after that. I myself really want to get some of those models. I'm hyped for that. Mechanicum, I'm not really a big Mechanicum guy, either in 40k or Horus Heresy, especially not Horus Heresy. But again, amazing. I'm happy for the players who got that. You really needed a strong new faction in Horus Heresy that had some really cool models. That's what they gave us with that release. And yeah, sure, tell us that you have more stuff coming for those two factions. Give us a preview, whether it's some new infantry units, some new tanks, some new robots, whatever the case is, some new construct, a new plastic knight. Yes, tell us. You know, there's this allergy they have that they showed off in this video, in these videos, in these graphics, that they have a real allergy to giving people information. I don't know why. We can speculate till the end of the days, you know, why that is. But suffice to say, Horus Heresy, big recap, and then, yeah, you're gonna get more tanks. There will be more factions, more upgrade sprues. It's like, no, that's not what we want. That's really not what we want. The Horus Heresy roadmap is the worst of all the 4 roadmaps. It literally doesn't tell you anything. The other factions, at least they get the other systems, they at least get what factions are coming down the line. The Horus Heresy one just says more tanks. Like, duh, you are gonna give us more tanks. It's a no-brainer. Duh, you're gonna give us another refreshed faction. Maybe Custodes, maybe Sisters of Silence, maybe Demons of the Ruin Storm. Like, duh. Yes, we know. And like in the video they put out, they actually give you more information that yes, they're gonna do more core plastics, so like more, which probably references the despoilers, breachers, scouts, and then destroyers are probably I would say destroyers are a core plastic kit that has to come out. And then they're like, oh yeah, we are also looking at doing Legion specific stuff, which is like, I'm hyped as fuck for that, right? I play Blood Angels. I want plastic Crimson Paladins. I want plastic Dawnbreakers. I want plastic Angel Steers, because those models, Forge World resin, expensive as hell, guys. I think the Crimson Paladins are like upwards of 100 pounds for 5 guys. 5 guys. They can only be built one way. You have like 2 or 3 weapon options. That's it. That's expensive, man. I'd rather have like a $50-$60 plastic kit for those guys. But suffice to say, what I'm doing right now is at some point this year, maybe next year, I'm gonna get a box of Cataphracti. I've already ordered some extra 3D printed bits, shields and weapons, and shoulder pads, because GW doesn't do Cataphracti shoulder pads, at least as far as I know. And we're gonna get that sometime. I'm gonna get that sometime in the next like month or so. Although I don't know when I'll be getting the Cataphracti box. I really need at least 20 more cataphracti in my army. No kidding. So much stuff I want to do with those models. They're amazing. But yeah, and then it's like, yeah, we're gonna vaguely say what we want to do, what's coming down the pipeline. The roadmap that they showed us for Horus Heresy in 2023, it's an amazing roadmap. It's even better than the 40K one that they put out last year, because this one, it tells you exactly what's coming. So Vindicator Siege Tank is gonna happen in this season. Melee upgrades, they're gonna happen in this season. A new Dreadnought, Plastic Dreadnought, is gonna happen in this season. A new Mark refresh for the armor, for the regular power armor, it's gonna happen at this point. A new Primarch is gonna happen at this point. And we're gonna tell you exactly what's in plastic, what's in resin. That was an amazing roadmap. I think it was probably the best kind of information they could have released for Age of Darkness 2.0 Horus Heresy, and we wanted more of that. Except we just got the absolutely worst, possible roadmap that we could get. And again, it's like extremely disappointing. It's extremely infuriating. And they like, and in the video there, the designer, no hate on the designer himself, because probably whatever they said, there was probably so much corporate and legalese around what they could say and what they couldn't say. So they're trying to make the best of it. So no hate on the developer himself. However, it felt really insulting. Like, oh yeah, the melee upgrades, they are coming. The melee upgrades that the developer was referring to, is the only item from their roadmap they put out that hasn't been released yet. It was supposed to come out, like, I think, roughly speaking, like 2 months ago, which would put it in summer, June, and it was like the last item coming for spring. June is not spring, but whatever. Fans have been waiting, some cases patiently, some cases impatiently, for that to come out. There's been, all we know is that it was delayed. We don't know the reasons why. It's fine. It's good. But he's like, oh yeah, the melee upgrade is coming soon. It's like, okay, tell us more. What do the melee upgrades have? What kind of melee upgrades are they? Because, as things stand right now, the new Mark 6 tactical squad box and the new Mark 3 tactical squad box, those boxes, they have the exact same accessory sprue for your power weapons, for the other bits and pieces. Exactly the same. Whereas if you look at the Forge of Resin stuff, you can clearly see that the design aesthetics between Mark 3 and Mark 2 and Mark 5, whatever, they're all different. So I have no idea why they did it that way, but it is what it is. So people, and they are limited options. It's a single lightning claw attachment, a single power fist, a single plasma pistol, single power sword. That's it. The command squad boxes they put out for Mark 3 and Mark 6, the upgrades themselves and the boxes themselves, they are the exact same between the two, and it's just power swords. It's literally just power swords and shields, which you could use as combat shields. You could use as storm shields, I guess. You could even use them as breacher shields. I will probably end up doing that if I cannot get some fancy breaching shields myself. But it is what it is. And the Horus Heresy roadmap, like I said, the worst of the bunch. And there's this like huge, like I said, I have to repeat myself so much because this stuff is so infuriating, right? And the key part is, I read a comment somewhere that they were afraid to show off new plastics because then the 3D print people, they get their hands on that stuff and they model it themselves and release it before GW can. Which in this situation would be even worse because GW is literally telling us we're not going to release any new stuff for 3 months, 4 months that we can announce right now. There might be some Kill Team stuff coming out, there might be some Warcraft stuff coming out, something for Necromunda, but that's it. It's like, yeah, no. It's like, really, no. And, even that that argument doesn't hold water because they show off new models for Stormcast, for AOS 4.0. The new edition just launched, like a few weeks ago, last month. And, for Blood Bowl, it's like, they can't do that for all the other systems, for all the other books. No, that doesn't jive. So there's a lack of the logic to do with that. But again, so what? GW, so what? You've made this mess for yourselves. Every year your kits get more expensive. You remove stuff from production, and you expect people to pay more. And then now you're even giving us the proper information. So it's like whatever is going on at GW, I don't want none of that. And it's like, it's, as a fan, as someone who makes videos about this kind of stuff, this is sad. It's depressing, and it's like, this is not at all what we want to see. It's just like, I don't know, man. It's like, really, I've been thinking about this stuff for like the last 30 hours, and I just cannot figure any of this shit out. And it's like, I'm like so pissed off. I'm trying to keep a lot in. But it's like, GW, you have failed every person in the hobby. I have no idea what kind of insane arguments you could have to do the roadmaps the way you did. And your silence on the matter is even more infuriating. So you guys are probably giving yourselves a pat on the back. And I'm talking to the executives here, not the rank and file people. I'm talking to the executives. You guys suck. All right? This is not how you should be communicating in 2024. This is entirely the wrong approach for everything. And you guys all should be ashamed of yourselves. That's all I got to say, guys. I'll try and get my other videos out as soon as I can this weekend. It's pretty busy, but I'll try and get at least 2 videos out. So watch out for that. And thanks for sticking till the end of the video. And again, I'm very sorry to keep on harping about the negative stuff, but the positive stuff is coming, I promise. And I'll see you guys soon. Cheers. Bye.